Okay, the Crypt Stalker is a really fun modded class, or subclass I should say, for the Ranger in Baldur's Gate 3, so we're going to go over it. We're going to level by level with all the equipment and combat tutorial and everything you should need to get this working. So to start with, we gain, as the Ranger, Strength and Dexterity saving throw proficiencies. We get Simple Weapon proficiencies, Martial Weapon proficiencies, Light Armor proficiency, Medium Armor proficiency, and Shield proficiency. Now we get a favoured enemy at this point, and honestly there's quite a few good things you can go with. Bounty Hunter is really cool, I like this one. I also like Keeper of the Veil, I like Mage Breaker, Ranger Knight's cool if you want to have heavy armour, Sanctified Stalker's cool. I would personally go with either Keeper of the Veil or Mage Breaker for now. I'm going to go with Mage Breaker. And then for your Natural Explorer, I like taking the Wasteland Wanderers because I just think they work the best. So we're going to start with Wasteland Wanderer Fire. This gives you resistance to fire damage. When it comes to ability scores, I like having 8 in Strength, 16 Dexterity as we are going to be a Dex-based build, 14 Constitution for that health pool and any concentration saving throws, 10 Intelligence, 16 Wisdom, so this is your spellcasting modifier, and 10 Charisma. For your proficiencies, take whatever you feel like. Ranger level 2 gives you some first level spell slots. So the first one we're going to take is Hail of Thorns. I love Hail of Thorns, I think this is great. It'll explode, dealing extra piercing damage. And we're going to take Hunter's Mark. Nice bonus action concentration spell, deal an additional 1 to 6 weapon damage. And if that creature dies, without expending a spell slot, as long as you're still concentrating, you can place it onto another enemy. And we get a fighting style. Now we're going to be using the bow and we're going to be using 2-weapon fighting. So with 2-weapon fighting, when you make an attack with the offhand, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the other attack. And archery, getting a +2 bonus to ranged weapon attacks. I think based on our dex, archery kind of wasted. I think best thing is to bump up your 2-weapon fighting. Ranger level 3 brings you your specialization. So before that we get one more spell, and for this one we're going to take Ensnaring Strike. Basically a strike that will potentially ensnare the enemy. And for the subclass we're going to take the Crypt Stalker. This will give you Speak with Dead, which is a great spell to have. Obviously Speaking with Dead in the game is amazing. We get a Ranger's Companion, and there's multiple of these and I'll show you them as we go. And we get Darkness as a spell. So we can throw this up, just stand within darkness if we need to. Ranger level 4 gives you your first feat. So what we're going to do for this is ability score improvement, and our dexterity is going to go up to 18. Ranger level 5 brings you a bunch of extra features. So we gain an extra attack, meaning if we make an attack with our main hand, we can do an extra attack for free. It also works with a bow. We gain Companion's Bond, so you add your proficiency bonus to the armor class and damage rolls of your companions. We get one more shadows, which means if we stand still, we can turn invisible. However, once we move, attack, anything like that, it will break invisibility. And we get control undead. So if there's undead on the battlefield, we can take control of one of them and turn it to our side. We gain level 2 spells at this point, so the first one we're going to take is Spike Growth, really great concentration spell that lasts for 100 turns. Placed on the ground, any creature moving through it, movement is halved, and they take 2 to 8 piercing damage. Ranger level 6 brings you new passives. So the first one we're going to take is Veil of the Keeper, gain proficiency in Arcana and cast protection from good and evil. And our Natural Explorer, let's take Wasteland Wanderer Poison this time, so we're now resistant to poison damage. Ranger level 7, Superior Dark Vision, so you can see in the dark up to 24 meters. We gain Unholy Command, so our companion can have Dash, Disengage and Help as a bonus action. And Dark Ascension. So basically whenever our companions attack, we give them an extra attack as well. We gain one more spell, and for this one we are going to take Long Strider. Increase the creature's movement speed up to 3 meters, and this lasts until long rest. Ranger level 8 brings you your next feat, as well as Land Stride's Difficult Terrain. Difficult terrain no longer slows you down. We gain another feat, so we're going to take our ability score improvement, Dexterity up to 20. Ranger level 9 brings you 3rd level spell slots. So at this point we are going to take Lightning Arrow because it's a phenomenal 4d8 lightning plus 2d8 lightning. Hits an enemy and then smaller bolts will snake out to other nearby enemies. Nice sort of solo but AoE type spell. Ranger level 10 brings you Hide in Plain Sight. Camouflage yourself within the environment to become invisible. Gain +10 bonus to stealth checks as long as you stand still, and this lasts until long rest as well. We now gain more passives, so the first one we can take is Bounty Hunter. Gain proficiency in Investigation, and creatures we have hit with our Ensnaring Strike will have disadvantage on their saving throw. And our final Wasteland Wanderer, we're going to take Cold, get that cold resistance. Ranger level 11 gives you Grave Bite. Attacks made with your weapon do an additional necrotic damage equal to your wisdom modifier. So this is going to be giving us a +3 damage currently. And we can summon an undead dragon, which is awesome. Yeah, we'll show you this. We gain one more spell, and at this point I would take plant growth. Nice way of really hammering down everyone's movement speed to 1/4. Range level 12 brings us 100 hit points. We also gain a new feat. So at this point, you can either take your Wisdom up to 18 or take Savage Attacker. In my opinion, whichever one. We'll take the ability score improvement and bump our Wisdom up. So let's go over some equipment. Now, I like taking the Circlet of Blasting as headwear. I like having the Scorching Ray. I think it's a great spell. I think it adds some nice ranged spellcasting utility to us. Obviously, you can just go with something like the Mask of Soul Perception, but trying to keep builds a little bit different, because only one item for multiple different builds. I think the Circlet of Blasting works amazing. I really like the Flesh Melter Cloak, so if we take melee damage, the attacker will take 1 to 4 acid damage. For boots, we're going to take the Blackguard Greaves, Strider movement, you gain Long Strider, and Athletics +1. For armour, we're going to take the Armour of Agility. This gives us exotic materials, so we add our full Dexterity modifier to our armour class. We also gain a +2 to saving throws. For gloves, we're going to take Helldust Gloves. Gain +1 bonus to spell attack rolls and spell save DC. Weapon attacks deal 1 to 6 fire damage. For rings, I really like the Burnished Ring to give you Paralysing Ray. I also like the Caustic Band, so your weapon attacks deal an extra 2 solid acid damage. For an amulet, I like the Amulet of Misty Step, basically allowing you to get to high points if you need to and rain down death with your bow. In your main hand weapon, we're going to take Ambusher. So Sentinel weapon, +1 bonus to initiative rolls and advantage on perception ability checks. Ambusher Streak, in combat you do an additional 1/6 necrotic damage against creatures that haven't taken a turn yet. We're going to pair this very nicely with Bloodthirst. This reduces our critical number down from a 20 to a 19. We gain True Strike, and because it's in our offhand, we get a +1 to our armor class. And we're going to pair this with the Deadshot. This also improves our critical number, so now we only need an 18, not a 19, to critically hit. We also get to double our proficiency bonus when rolling ranged attacks with this weapon. So that is the build. Let's jump into combat and show you off. Okay, so let's show you some stuff you need to do. We've just left combat and it's time for us to get our companions. And there's a lot. There's Wraiths, Flying Ghouls, Dark Justicar, a Mummy, and a Death Shepherd. So let's start with the Death Shepherd. We'll put this here. And look at this. What an awesome companion to have. Now, bear in mind, if we were to come in here, you can only cast one at a time. And then you have to short rest. If you were to short rest, like such, you see our dude is still here. You can come in here, range companion, let's get the Mummy. The other one will disappear. So just bear that in mind. So we're going to start with the Death Shepherd, because I think it looks the coolest. It's also the most tanky. We can also summon an undead dragon, like I said, and this lasts until long rest. So if we throw this up here, you can see it's pretty sizable, but you can have both of these at the same time, which is just crazy. Unfortunately, the dragon does get stuck in a lot of places though. As you can see, it doesn't really do much, but it can fly around. So we can make it fly to, say, here. Just like that. Okay, so you can see we're in the combat. Our dragon triggered it. So really the dragon you need to kind of summon in combat, otherwise it's a bit of a ball ache. So, let's get this going, and we are starting with our lovely Crypt Stalker. So we come all the way over here, you'll see haven't quite got the range to get to the enemies. So we're just going to use basic bow attacks. So I can show you this off. And you see the damage output we have. And we benefit from our extra attack. We can also throw up a hunting mark. Should have done this in the first place, but I forgot. And there you go. Now as you can see, the dragon is up top and it has lightning breath. It can also still fly. So if we were to try and fly to here, just like that, and you'll see we knocked enemies around. And we have the option, we can just start slashing. And you can see we do crazy damage with this thing. Now it only is one attack, but you can do a multi-attack. So we can come in here. And there you go. And you see the enemies hitting us because we're ensnared, but they take acid damage for doing so. Just like that. Okay, so we have our lovely little Death Warden here. Now, it's meant to be a main hand, like melee based one. However, it does have some ranged capabilities, such as reach from beyond. And you see we got a lovely critical with that. You see they missed a big sneak attack on us. And we're back to our lovely little dragon. And the dragon has things like lightning breath. So we can shoot this over here. For a nice AoE that does incredible damage. Okay, so it's time to do some damage. Let's put our Hunter's Nut back on here. We lost concentration, sadly. So we'll do that, and then we'll start attacking with our weapon attacks. And you can see just how good our damage output is. And we have the movement, we can come back in here, and if need be, get our bow out, and also hit a bow shot. So you can mix up your ranged and your melee within one extra attack. Okay, so your Death Warden can actually, or Death Shepard can actually do a bonus action, dash, which means we can run as far as we need to, depending on how much we have. We'll bring them up here, ready to hunt down this one. And in the meantime, we still have that capability of hitting the ranged attack, which sadly missed. And of course, like I said, we still have our lightning breath. We can throw this in. The dragon doesn't have much, obviously, space, as you can see, so it's hard to really navigate. You need a bit more of an open area to do this, but it can pump out the damage. And of course, we're still a spellcast at heart, so we can do our Rays of Fire. Just like that. And then, bonus action, we can Misty Step, get to some higher ground. And then of course our Death Shepherd can come up here and start swinging for the fences. And don't forget it does have an extra attack because it's got our class features and it can pump out some really good damage. It's also got Pommel Strike as a bonus action if you need it. And of course we can send our dragon to the high spots. Just like that. And as you see, it flung him off the building. And you see, pumping out 20 damage roughly per attack with the Death Shepherd. And then it's just time to finish the fight. Send our lovely melee-based Death Shepherd up to pump out damage. And that is the build. I really hope you've enjoyed. Obviously, you need to summon your dragon stuff when you're in combat. I was just showing you as an example. And then you won't get ambushed like I did and all that sort of stuff. But you can see there's a nice range of like melee damage, lots of necrotic acid. You can mix in your bow and all sorts. Really good crit chance as well. So really hope you have enjoyed this build. If you have, please drop the episode a like, helps me tremendously. Let me know in the comments below what you changed differently, other items, abilities, spells, all that fun stuff. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel for more. I've got more guides for Baldur's Gate, I've got guides for Path of Exile 2, Dragon Age to Velgard, Let's Plays, and I'm currently streaming God of War Ragnarok, so hopefully come and check that out. Regardless, I really do hope you've enjoyed, and if you have, hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.